September. I hope that all of you have power back this week from the hurricane that we had last week. I hope that somehow you've been able to bless someone by helping them clean a yard or cooking a meal or doing something like that. And so we're so glad that you were back here with us. We're going to keep moving on our 10 Commandments this week, but first we're going to do our song and we're going to do our memory verse. So here is our new memory verse, all right? It is, the Lord makes everything for its purpose, all right? And this is Proverbs 16:4, okay? So let's do it together. The Lord makes everything for its purpose. Proverbs 16:4. All right, very good. Let's do it one more time. The Lord makes everything for its purpose. Proverbs 16:4. And so what are some things that God has made? He's made everything. Yeah, he's made the trees, the grass, the water, the clouds. So give me, what would one of the purposes of a cloud be that God has made?
For rain.
For rain, very good. What might the purpose of a horse be?
To carry somebody somewhere.
To carry someone or some supplies somewhere, very good. And so the Bible tells us that everything that God has made has a purpose. Sometimes we don't always know its purpose. Like, I don't know what the purpose of a mosquito is, but everything that God has made has a purpose, okay? And so it is worth value and honor because God has made it. So let's all remember that. Now, we're going to sing My God is So Big. So get your muscles ready. You ready? My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. The mountains are His, the rivers are His, the stars are His handiwork too. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do for you. All right, good job, y'all. And we also have a new friend with us here today. So David is here with us, and we're super thankful to have him. All right, so we've been walking through the 10 Commandments. Who can tell me that we know that the first 4 deal with our relationship with whom? With God. So what are the first 4 commandments? They don't have to be in order. Let's just tell me what they are. Jude.
You shall make no idol before me.
Okay, so you shall have no other gods before me. All right, Sadie.
Do not say my name in vain.
Very good. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. Yes, Riley.
Do not murder.
Well, let's do the first 4.
Oh, okay. No carving images.
That's very good. You shall not make for yourself any graven images. And then the 4th one is remember the Sabbath day. That's right, to keep it holy. Very good. So let's talk about we can have no other gods before God. The one true God, right? God calls us to have no idols. He says don't bow down to anything, all right? The only one we bow down to is the one true God. And we talked about that. We saw that in the story with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that no matter if there are kings who tell us to bow down, we should never bow down. We always do what God tells us to do. And so we only bow to God, okay? We only worship God. Now, for do not take the Lord's name in vain. Remember, how we speak about God is important because His name is holy and His name is reverent, and He glorifies His name throughout the earth. So when we speak of Him, we honor His name. And then we talked about the Sabbath day. We don't have the same Sabbath as they used to before Christ came, because that Sabbath was a day of rest, but it was pointing to Christ because He is our rest, okay? And so then we did 2 more. And so the last 6 commandments are dealing with our relationships with people. So first of all, does our relationship with God have to be healthy and growing in order for us to have good relationships with people? Yes, absolutely. Okay, it must. That's so important. So if we love God with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength, then we really are able to go out and love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So the Bible tells us some ways that we can love our neighbors. So the first way that we can love our neighbors, and this is the person who's like closest to us, would be to honor your father and mother. That's right. Honor your father and your mother. God, was that a commandment that God threw in there just for the kids? No, that was the commandment to the adults too, right? And is that we're to show honor to our moms and our dads. And we do that that when you're little. You do that by obeying your mom and your dad. And then I am accountable to God for the things that I am teaching you. Okay? The next one was you shall not murder. And a lot of us think, oh man, I don't really have a problem with that. But Jesus told us what? What did Jesus say? He said, if you don't like people.
Ugly words about people, or if you hate somebody in your mind.
That's right. If you hate someone in your heart, that's like killing them, right? So Jesus took it from the outside and he brought it to the heart. And he said, can't even hate anybody, okay? Because I've called you to love. So the next two that we're going to look at today is we're going to look at 14 and 15. You shall not commit adultery and you shall not steal. Yes, Jude.
You don't need to hate a person, but you can hate Satan.
That's right, we do. We hate Satan and we hate sin, right? But we love our neighbors and we love our enemies because Jesus calls us to do both. And so that's how he wants us to approach the world, is through love. You're right. Thanks, buddy. So you shall not commit adultery and you shall not steal. So when we start with these, this is this. When a man marries a woman, because we know that that is how God has designed it, right? For one man to marry one woman. Is that man or that woman, are they supposed to look around and see other people that they could be married to or wish that they could be? No. God has designed marriage to be a picture of the church. And so just like a woman is the bride of a man, so the church is the bride of Christ. The Bible calls him the groom, and the Bible calls us the bride. And so the reason that we only marry one person and stay married to that one person is because it's reflecting a much bigger truth about the Bible. So what the Bible says is this: when you say yes to that one person in marriage, you're saying no to everyone else, okay? You're not saying yes, and I'm going to keep some options open. But God has designed it for one man and for one woman to love each other all the days of their lives, okay? And Jesus even takes it a little further, and Jesus looks at the heart. And Jesus says, you're not even supposed to look at another person and wish that you were married to them. You're not even supposed to look and gaze upon and enjoy that. I want you to only love the one that you are married to. Okay, so that is what God has called us to in marriage. And why is that?
Because
what's it a picture of?
Jesus.
That's right, it's a picture of Jesus and his bride, okay? Now the next one is you shall not steal. Now, do you think that this is important, an important commandment? Why?
Because if you steal something that doesn't belong to you, then the public's gonna.
That's true. You don't want to go to jail. But what would the world be like if we all just took whatever we wanted, no matter who it belonged to? Would there be any order in the world? No, it would be chaos, right? If I say, David, what if I went to your house and I decided I wanted all of your Legos and I just took them and there was nothing you could do about it? Would that be terrible? That would be terrible, right? Yeah, I know. And so I can't do that. It's against the law for me to go to your house and take your things. And the reason is because God, it's an offense against God when we do that, because we have to honor people's belongings. Now, when we honor people's belongings, we are honoring God because he calls us not to steal. Now, but remember how Jesus makes everything bigger, okay, and Jesus gives us deeper understanding. Truly, who do all of our things belong to?
God.
Everything that we have belongs to God. There is nothing that we have that solely belongs to us, because all of the earth belongs to the Lord, right? And so let's think about this. I don't think a lot of times we're not going to go in a store and maybe steal something off the shelf. But a lot of times what we do is we may want to go and steal something from the Lord. Now, what does that look like? God has given us all resources, and God it might be time or money, right? And so God has given us those things so that we can use that to help people and to glorify his name. And sometimes we steal from him because we want to keep it all for ourselves. And what has he called us to? Has he called you to keep everything that you have for yourself? No, he's called you to use it for his glory. And so we do not want to steal. Obviously, we do not want to steal from people. We want to honor and respect them. But also, we do not want to steal from the Lord. So I want you to think this week. What are some things that I have, and what are ways that I can use them to honor and glorify God in His name, right? All right, you guys have been such good listeners. Does anybody have anything to say?
How you said the whole world is God's, that includes us.
That's right. The whole world is God's, including you, Jude Charbonneau. Yes, it is. All right, anybody else? All right, Riley Cat, will you pray for us?
Dear God, thank you for today. Jesus, I'm so glad that we get to do this, God, that we would get to share the love of you with ones who do not know you and ones who do know you, God. I pray that you just help this Sunday, God, to go well. I pray that everybody gets home safely if they're at church right now. God, I pray that you love us and that you protect us. God, I pray